welcome back to our special, Politics by Faith, the Collapse of the Nuclear Family. Thanks for being here, and thanks for listening to this. And it's good to know we're on the same page with how important this topic is. Tim Carney, we just spoke to a moment ago, he's got a chapter in his book called Pro-Family Feminism. Feminism has decided, didn't start off this way, to be anti all traditional gender roles. You got to throw it all out. A massive part of this attack on the family is the attack on women. And that you need to find your worth outside of the home. Here's the New Statesman that we quoted a moment ago. The New Statesman, and this is the article that said, if you're pro-family, you're like the Nazis with your fascist resonances. The New Statesman ended their article with, authoritarian ideologies are not exclusively right-wing, but right-wing authoritarianism has rarely existed without conservative gender roles to bolster, enable, and perpetuate it. The ideal woman, the far-right fascists say. The ideal woman is submissive homemaker, an obedient childbearer, and the ideal man is dominant patriarch. It's a model that authoritarian regimes emulate in law and governance. It's a very old model. I love that progressivism, whenever they say something's old, that's all they need to say to make an argument that it's bad, just because it's old. That's it. It's old. And if you're a progressive reading the New Statesman, which you are, you're like, oh, old? Bad. That's all they need to say. They don't need to say why it's bad. They just need to say it's old. They said it's a very old model, and it's one that is seemingly endlessly resurrected by men in search of total power. Oh. Let's go to Proverbs 31, shall we? To debunk this feminism. Proverbs 31. Who can find a virtuous wife? Her worth is far above rubies. The word virtuous, beautiful word. It's the same Hebrew word, spelled Hayil. It's the same Hebrew word that's used in 2 Kings 24:14 to describe the mighty men of valor. Virtuous and valor, same Hebrew word. Who is this virtuous woman full of power and strength? Who is this strong and virtuous wife? In a Bible commentary by William Ross, he said, the vocabulary and the expressions in Proverbs 31 have a ring of an ode to a champion. What this woman has does not simply fall to her. It is her victory through wisdom, her hard-won reward. There's all these military allusions, in Proverbs 31. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. The word strength used in the Hebrew there, it's the same word used to describe heroic victories in battle, all throughout the Bible. Exodus and Samuel, that same word, strength, to describe a woman and a wife. The word, there's a part of Proverbs 31 about excelling them all. It says, many women, I think it's verse 29, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. You excel them all. Now, the word excel that's used to describe military victories is the same. My point is, Proverbs 31 is not kidding around. Proverbs 31 doesn't say, hey, women, you're no good anywhere else. You should just cook. You should just have kids. You're weak. You're pathetic. You're useless. I'm going to oppress you by keeping you in the home. No. Proverbs 31 is about strength and valor and worthiness and honor. I would encourage the folks at the New Statesman and anyone who thinks that the Bible or conservatism talks down to women and just wants to keep them barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen to do a proper study on Proverbs 31. And may I also say, any woman watching now who maybe feels like staying at home, being a stay-at-home mom, or doing all these traditional gender roles things, maybe you feel the propaganda still. You have your whole life, and now you feel it even today from the feminists, from the progressives, that you're not doing enough, that you're not doing something valuable enough, that you should be out in the workforce if you really want to be of valor, of value. To do a proper study on Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31, this ideal woman, it's about strength and like physical strength and wisdom and diligence intelligence and honor and virtue and protection and service and love, all to the point where one of the greatest blessings of all, her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. That's a woman. Beautiful picture of a virtuous woman. How virtuous? Her worth is far greater than rubies. The left thinks that, I don't know how you can do a study on Proverbs 31 or listen to my attempt to speak as best as I can to the beauty of Proverbs 31. I don't know how you can be progressive and hear that and think that Christians want to keep women down, or conservatives want to keep women down, or that traditional gender roles is some bad thing. I don't know how you can possibly come to that conclusion. You got your own messed up perceptions as to what Christianity says about women. The left thinks that Christians degrade women by keeping them in the kitchen. I don't know. It's the left. It's, if anything, it's the feminists who degrade women by suggesting that their only worth is in the economy. How cheap is that? That a woman's worth becomes whatever her W-2 says, that's some replaceable job. That's your worth. We need to refocus on the family. We need to refocus on our roles as husband or wife, first and foremost, more than anything else. Just the other day, and we're not perfect by any means, but it was just the other day, wife and I were hugging in the kitchen, and Jack said, "Why are you guys hugging all the time?" We need a cultural value. He said, "Why don't you just say I love you?" That's what he said. Why don't you just say I love you? We need a cultural value placed on the nuclear family again. We need to talk to young people about choosing wisely. Choose your husband or wife wisely. It's not about feelings. Because there's some element of feelings, I suppose, right? But you need to think. Stop feeling. Don't make decisions based off of feeling. It's going to be a bad decision. Think. Use your brain. And we, adults, need to help kids, help young people make better decisions when it comes to who you're going to marry. And we all of us, need to be a people, all of us, be a people once again of virtue and strength and fight against the world, because every single element in this world, from the devil to politics to our culture, all of it is fighting against us. Every single element of this world is trying to tear us apart. And I believe they start with the family. Mike Slater, The First TV. Spread the word.